The Georgia offensive line is consistently able to produce elite talent for the NFL draft, and it feels like just about every other year, we're talking about a new Bulldogs tackle as a first-round pick. That's the case this year as well, as recently, Georgia left tackle Monroe Freeling has declared for the 2026 NFL draft. This has been one of my guys since the beginning of the season, and I think he has really flown under the radar. He's got a lot of really great tools that I think the league is looking for, and in a weaker offensive tackle class, how high should Freeling be selected? That's what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a ton and lets me know you guys are enjoying the videos. Comment down below which prospects you guys want to see me talk about in a future episode, and without further ado, let's get into it. Monroe Freeling was a 4-star recruit in the 2023 recruiting class and committed to Georgia. He didn't play much at all as a true freshman, but in his sophomore season, he played in 609 snaps for the Georgia offensive line and was very up and down. He finished the year allowing 21 pressures, 15 hurries, 3 hits, and 3 sacks on the season, and there wasn't a whole lot of buzz on him entering the year as an NFL draft prospect. But as the 2025 season went along, it became more and more clear that Monroe Freeling was a serious prospect for this class. He played in 891 snaps for the Georgia offense and finished the year with 9 pressures, 6 hurries, and 3 sacks allowed on the season. He recently declared for the draft, which is a surprise to many, but I think he has a lot of traits and really high upside to be a starting tackle at the NFL level. The first thing that sticks out with Freeling is his size. He's listed at 6'7", 315 pounds, and has a good and long, compact build for the position. I think he has the ideal length measurements to stick at tackle, which you can't say about a lot of these guys, and I think with his frame, he has the ability to add on more weight and more play strength at the next level, so I'm really excited to see how his size translates to the next level. In pass protection, I really love what Monroe Freeling is able to bring to the table. He's a fantastic athlete who is able to explode out of his stance with quick hands. I think hand usage is one of the best parts about Freeling's game. He's able to properly leverage himself and redirect rushers with elite hand counters, which I loved seeing. But I also think his footwork is very solid as well. He had quick feet to stay with quicker rushers one-on-one, and he didn't give up his outside shoulder. I love offensive tackles that are able to keep their outside shoulder protected, and I thought because of the quickness, Freeling was able to do that, but I thought his anchor was also very good. He was never overwhelmed by power rushes, and I think his overall footwork and hand usage are very positive. While there are a lot of things I like about what Freeling can do in pass protection, I think timing his hand strikes could improve a little bit. Freeling does play with high pads, and as a result, it leads to him lunging on tape. I would like to see his timing overall improve, and I think it could help some of his balance issues as well. As a run blocker, I think there are still a lot of positives on tape. We mentioned the athleticism, and it's on full display in the run game. He's really good at climbing to the second level, where I think he's great at laying a chip block and meeting the linebacker upfield with violence. He's super light on his feet, he's quick to get to the second level, and I think you can utilize him as a climber, but I also think he can pull across the line of scrimmage and make a good impact. I think because of his athleticism, Freeling has a lot of potential to be a good run blocker, but I will say, it is his biggest weakness right now. We mentioned how he often lunges, and that is a consistent issue in the passing game, but I think it's even more prevalent in the run game. He feels like he's over his skis a lot, and balance is a major issue. There are a lot of reps where Freeling is on the ground, and I want to see that improve. I think Freeling has a very difficult time consistently connecting with defenders at the second level. Whether it be his timing, whether it be his balance, I think there are a lot of issues for him, particularly with moving targets. He struggled to consistently meet defenders where they were going to be, and while that is an issue, I don't think it's not fixable. I think with a good offensive line coach, you can fix some of these issues. You can fix his stance, you can fix some of the balance concerns, but it is something that I notice pretty regularly on tape that I want to see improve. Monroe Freeling is one of my favorite tackles in the 2026 NFL Draft. While he doesn't have a ton of experience compared to some of the other guys, I think the traits are there. He has the size, which you can't say about most of the tackles in this draft class, and I think in pass protection he checks a lot of the boxes that you look for. He's great with his hands, he's got quick feet, he's able to redirect rushers, he's able to anchor against power. Those are all things that I heavily value in left tackles. While the run blocking definitely has some room to go, there are flashes of good run blocking tape, and as a result, Freeling is my number 4 tackle in the draft class, and I have a top 40 grade on him as a player. You just can't teach the athleticism, especially at the tackle position, and I think Freeling checks so many boxes from a technical standpoint that make me willing to bet on him pretty early in this draft class. In terms of a scheme fit, I think Freeling has versatility to play in both zone and gap rushing schemes. But given the athleticism and the way that he is able to climb or pull, I do think I'd like to see him play in a zone rushing scheme. Yes, he will need to clean up the inconsistencies and be better at connecting with moving targets, which is a big part of zone rushing attacks. But I do think with proper coaching, Freeling can become a good to great run blocker. I think weaponizing his athleticism, allowing him to be a lead blocker in the run game, is something that is going to get the most out of his skill set, and I would like to see him in a zone scheme early on in his NFL career. My player comparison for Monroe Freeling is Atlanta Falcons left tackle Jake Matthews. While Freeling is a little bit bigger and has better length than Matthews, I think from a technical standpoint, both are very similar players. They have a strong base, which allows them to anchor very well in pass protection. They're athletic with the ability to climb or pull in the run game. They are great with their hands in pass protection, are able to redirect rushers. However, both of them have had issues being consistent run blockers. Like I said with Freeling multiple times, I do think it can get better, but it never did get better for Jake Matthews, but he has still been able to carve out a consistent role as one of the better pass protecting left tackles in the league. I could see Freeling have a very similar career. Maybe he doesn't develop as a run blocker, but I think what he can bring as a pass protector is so valuable. I think he could have a very similar impact to Jake Matthews. Monroe Freeling has high upside. In a weaker offensive tackle class, Freeling checks a lot of the boxes NFL teams are looking for, and I think he has the potential to be a long-term starter. And ultimately, I believe that Monroe Freeling will be a top 40 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft.